Alright, no time like the present, I guess. Hey, I'm Aqua or Aquarius of Fallen Snow if you don't know me. If you've been here before, happy to have you back here again. If this is your first time, welcome to the Shit Shooting Gallery, my podcast. And honestly, this is the first video I've made in probably a few months now. It's been a rough couple of weeks or months, so I'm gonna try and go through that now. I can't even remember when the last time I posted a video was, but I've finally been able to get back on like Instagram and Snapchat a little bit, but yeah, I've mostly been posting on Instagram lately. Hopefully this will be the start of me getting back into YouTube videos, right? Well, and as you can see by my background, it's been a while, but I am back at my parents' house, and I moved all my stuff back up here because I was living in my own apartment for a while there, and I was working my ass off trying to make it work, but it didn't end up working, and I can go into that in more detail, but I had a bit of time to record, so I thought, hey, why not try and make a podcast episode, you know? But yeah, I guess that would be kind of the start. I think the last time I was talking in the podcast, I was mentioning how I broke up, or how I was going to break up with my girlfriend at the time, and we did end up breaking up, unfortunately. But I guess everything happens for a reason, right? So we broke up, and I ended up getting my own place back where I was living before, and I was able to pay it for a few months. I was working night shifts at the grocery store I was working at, and I ended up starting to drink a lot. I was still smoking a lot every day, every like 45 minutes, if not even sooner, like probably half an hour, whatever it was. And that ended up costing me a lot of money, and then I was also going out doing some painting, you know, putting up some art. I can't get too much into that though. If you follow me on socials, you probably would have seen it, but I ended up getting another charge for that, so I don't know, I probably won't talk too much about how much painting I was doing, but yeah, I was getting, outdoor paint, buckets of it, and rollers and shit, and, cans of spray paint, and I was getting a bunch of cans every time I went, and I went multiple times to Canadian Tire there to pick up supplies, went to the dollar store for the rollers, so at least wasn't spending too much on those, but, but yeah, I was putting that on a credit card. By the time I got up here to my parents' house and we finally paid it off, it was like $800 between all the paint I got and how much booze I was drinking. I was getting into the vodka, Fireball, all that shit pretty heavy. And then I realized, like, oh shit, I don't have enough now to pay my rent. And I was feeling like a dipshit for doing that. But I was also feeling pretty depressed. I didn't want to talk to my parents, ask them for money, even though they said they could have helped with it, which is, really nice of them. And then, I ended up not going in for my work anymore because I was getting so stressed out, even on my antidepressants. So I ended up no call, no showing more than a few times. And then what was happening after that? Since I wasn't going to work, I was basically working on music every day. I got a ton of music in the vault now. I got a new EP dropping February 9th, started next year. That's coming up pretty quick. I dropped one teaser track from that, and I dropped a few other singles. I dropped one for Halloween, and I think and then I think the first track from the EP was like right at the start of November. And then I dropped a really sick auto-tune track with a buddy Fourier. That's Call of Duty, and it's got multiple edits. If you want to hear the 3 different edits we did, plus his own version, I have a playlist of that on my SoundCloud, which you can find in the link tree in the bio. Gotta do some shameless plugs, But yeah, I was drinking heavy, smoking heavy, working on music a bunch, going out and painting. We'll call it that. And the drinking got pretty heavy. Like there were some days I was just waking up and drinking basically straight out of bed and having vodka crayons with my breakfast, or like having Fireball like all through the day, and I'd like pass out, have naps in the afternoon if I wasn't throwing up. I definitely drank myself to the point of throwing up a few times. And then, yeah, at night, when I'd wake up, I'd either be on Discord making music, or I'd be out running around town doing like 4 to 6, sometimes 8 hour painting sessions, just walking around. So that was a lot. And then, yeah, I don't know, it kind of got hazy in there. All the days kind of started blending together, because I don't know, I'd just sleep when I got tired, and I'd be sleeping at all random times. I'd be fucked up every day, which I'm glad I'm not getting that fucked up anymore. I tried kicking the, I tried kicking the bong, like not smoking weed and tobacco, because I ended up being in the hospital for a bit, which I'll explain how I got there. But they tried getting me on a Nicorette, like a little inhaler thing. So it's no smoke. It's just like you suck the air through through like one of these little capsules. There's like some foam in there that has nicotine in it, I guess, and it's all air, right? So tried doing that shit, and yeah, it helps with anxiety, but like, I don't know, I've been smoking so long, it's like, I don't know, I was still finding myself getting like irritated and pissed off with that. So I don't know, the weed and tobacco seem to help in a different way, which I guess isn't great. If the Nicorette stuff, they say, oh, it'll help you get off tobacco, is, that's what it's supposed to help with, and it's not really working for me. That's not great. But yeah, I haven't been drinking barely at all. Once in a while, if I've been working hard through the day, like when I first got up here, I was helping my mom clean up the garden, and sometimes I'd have a beer after we did that. Like, I think that was once or twice. But yeah, haven't been drinking too much since I got up here, which is good. But yeah, where was I? So I stopped going to work. I was working on music, or going out, putting up art, drinking heavy. And then I guess one night I went out, painting, doing my thing. I was walking around, and this random chick came up to me, and she said, like, hey, have you seen this person? I'm looking for my phone, right? And I said, no, I haven't seen him, but I'll help you look for him. And then I quickly realized this was a homeless chick. And we walked up the block to the church where people hang out. And she was asking, like, hey, have y'all seen this person? Trying to get my phone. And they said, oh yeah, over there. Like, fuck, I don't even know how much detail I should go into with this shit. But we ended up finding the person. She got her phone. The chick that had her phone, I guess they were like rooming together in a tent, whatever. So they knew each other, and they had already been, they'd already been knowing each other for a while, I guess. But that chick that had her phone was, smoking shit that was putting her to sleep, I'll say that. And then I realized that the chick that asked me for help was smoking something else, it doesn't put you to sleep, it's more of an upper, right? And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much detail I want to go into with that stuff, but I ended up spending a few, like, it must have been like 2 to 4 days hanging out with her and this other chick, and then they had a falling out, and she was the first chick was getting her shit together, and I was trying to help her. And she was talking about having a kid, and she had some of her kid stuff, I guess. I don't know. She might have been lying about it for all I know, but she was talking about trying to get her ID and stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, I could help you figure that shit out, because, I'm sympathetic to that kind of shit, especially I think I talked about it in past podcast episodes, but my ex that I was really in love with, she went and had a kid with some other guy after we broke up, and I was talking to my friends about being a stepdad, so, I'm sympathetic to kind of losing not being able to be there for a kid that you want to be, or, I don't know. I just feel like no kid should have to grow up without parents or parental figures, because that's one of the easiest or quickest ways to fall in with, the wrong crowd or doing stupid shit. But I don't know. I guess even me, I have two parents, or I have both my parents still, and they're still together, and they both care about me, but I still do stupid shit, so who knows, right? But yeah, I was trying to help her out, and I don't know, I feel like we were both stressing each other out, and she was talking shit, and, like, telling me to use my brain and all that, and, like, that was such a crazy few days, because, like, I did end up, relapsing on the harder shit. If you listen to my music, or you tap in with the podcast or my other content, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I don't know, I used to pop it, like just eat it, and get high that way. But since she was smoking it, like, that's what I did, and it just, I don't know, it didn't hit the same. It wasn't as strong, so I was smoking a good amount of it. Not that it was good, but I was smoking a decent amount of it, and, like, I don't know, I paid for a bit of it too, so it's not like I was just stealing her shit. But I don't know, that whole situation was so weird, and, like, I don't know, I brought some of her shit up to my apartment, and I was telling her, like, hey, if you need to, like, do laundry or shower, like, you need a place to crash, basically, like, let me know, because I'm willing to help you out with this shit, help you get your life together so you can see your kid and, like, try and turn your shit around. I don't know, it probably also had to do with, like, me feeling helpless, or, like, me feeling like I need to help other people or do shit to change the world for the better, whatever. But I don't know, then you just end up getting taken advantage of, whatever. So I don't know, I ended up losing my shit, and I was telling her, like, hey, just delete my number. Like, you want me to use my brain, just forget I exist, basically. I got her shit out of my place, and I brought it back to her, and I said that, and I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, if you're just gonna talk shit and I'm trying to help you, whatever. I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of. And, like, bro, I was straight up, like, I don't know, I'm a person who, I don't like getting to that point of, like, anger or frustration, especially if I can help it. But if you keep pushing me to a point, yeah, I'm gonna go off, but I go, like, I don't know, sometimes I go too far, I would never hit anybody. Like, I don't know, if someone's hitting me, yeah, I'll defend myself, whatever, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to hit somebody. If I'm gonna hit something, I'd rather hit a wall, hit myself. Like, I'd rather do damage to myself. I'm not trying to fuck up anybody else, anything else, really. I'm not trying to break shit, even though sometimes that is kind of fun in its own way. Like, I think we got rid of it, but when I was living with Jewel, there was one time I was pissed off, and there was a cookie sheet on the floor, and I punched that a few times, dented the shit out of it, but we ended up pushing it back and, like, using it still. And now, after sometimes you do shit like that because you just see red and you just want to, like, hit something inanimate that's not gonna, like, feel that pain, but you want to feel pain yourself. And I don't know, like, looking at the cookie sheet after the fact, I was kind of laughing to myself, like, oh yeah, I guess kind of lost my shit there, sorry about that. But from her perspective, my ex, I'm sure that's not great. And she even said, like, yeah, she didn't want to see me hurt myself, and there were a few times she would, like, hold my arm back and, like, stop me from hitting myself. And I don't know, even that was a whole crazy relationship in itself. But that was, like, I don't know. I will say, before my ex and I got together, I did tell her, like, hey, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship, and we still kind of got into it. So I don't know. I tried to say stuff from the start, but I also tried to make it work, and I don't know, just follow your heart, I guess, follow your gut. But then fuck, I did that, and I guess I wasn't using my brain, and I was doing stupid shit, right? So so yeah, where was I? That night that I told her, like, yeah, delete my number, just forget about me, I was like feeling heartbroken, feeling like I got taken advantage of. I was feeling sad as fuck. I was feeling angry. So I walked back to my apartment. This is like the third time I'm walking back there in the day. And mind you, that's probably a good, I don't know, like between 10 and 20 blocks from the downtown up to like, not even like midtown, but like the outer edge of the downtown. So like, I don't know, I was going a good ways, bro, on foot, just back and forth, and like dragging a bunch of shit behind me in one of those big blue recycling bins. Like, I don't know, I probably look like a fucking crackhead, bro. Like, oh, crazy shit. But yeah, so I was pissed off. It was nighttime. Like, it had to have been like 9 or 10 at night by that point. It was getting dark. Maybe around like 8, 9 in the evening, right? So I get back to my apartment and I poured myself a drink. I'd already been drinking. I had already been smoking weed, tobacco, and other shit, even harder shit. And then I started drinking on top of it. I had 2 drinks when I got home, and they had to have been double or triple vodka crayons, bro. Like, I'm talking this much in the drink, and like this much of it, like probably half or more than half was vodka. Like, it was fucked, man. So yeah, I just slammed those back basically in like 5-10 minutes. So you know that shit's not gonna hit for a minute, but when it hits, it's gonna hit hard. So what was it? I started drinking, and I wasn't expecting to hear anything. I was just gonna get fucked up and be depressed and probably cry, probably cry myself to sleep. I'm laughing, but like, fuck, that's probably what I would have done. But then, yeah, this chick texts me, and she said, hello. So I went off on her in the text. I said, yo, I told you to leave my number. Don't talk to me. Like, I was trying to help you and you were just talking shit the whole time. Like, what was it? Maybe the reason I was smoking so much is because you were stressing me out, even though she was saying I was stressing her out when I was just asking her questions. Like, oh, what do you want done with it? Like, she was one of those people that would just keep going through her shit and like saying she's organizing it, but like it never felt like it was getting any cleaner, and it just felt like almost like an anxiety thing. Like she was doing it to try and like cope with anxiety as well as the other shit. But you know, she was probably just trying to kill time waiting for me to fuck off. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, I don't know. That whole shit was weird. So oh no. So I said, yeah. She said hello. I said, yo, I told you delete my number. You were talking all this shit. I was trying to help you. I'm done. I'm not gonna put myself through that shit anymore. She said, oh, maybe if you weren't smoking so much, we could have got more done or something like that. And I'd lost my shit at that point. Like, I was saying, damn, you're still blaming me after all that shit. Maybe I was smoking because you were stressing me the fuck out. And then I said something along the lines of like, you egotistical, self-centered bitch. Like, bro, I was so pissed at that point because I was not. She would just talk her shit and I'd try and laugh it off, or I'd try and be like, damn, that, you know, that hurts. Like, trying to like play it off but not act like not be a pussy about it. I don't know. And like, yo, sorry, this is gonna start getting pretty dark, so like, this is your warning. if you're not into that kind of stuff, or you're sensitive to people talking about, you know, like dark thoughts or like suicide and that kind of conversation, then you might not rock with this video. But yeah, this is your warning, right? But then, yeah, I think after that, I didn't hear anything back from her, so I blocked her, got a bag ready to go out, do a run, do a painting run, you know? And then the last thing I remember is walking back downtown, and then, bro, I blacked out. The first time in my life I had ever fully blacked out where I cannot remember. And like, usually if I'm super drunk, I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, what happened last night? Oh yeah, like I'll kind of piece it together through the day. Bro, this is the first time I cannot remember what the fuck happened, right? So the last thing I remember was walking towards downtown, and I was still super pissed off at that point, but I blacked out, and then I woke up the next morning in a park, bro. And I realized what park it was after a little bit. I had my glasses in my back pocket, and I woke up. I didn't have anything. I had my keys in my pocket, which thank God I had those, because I thought that was the start of me being homeless right there. And I think my intention the night before was to like do my painting run and then like hop on the highway and just end it, bro, because I was so done with life at that point. And yeah, I woke up in the park. I was anxious as fuck, because like that was the first time I fully blacked out, and then you wake up in a fucking park, bro. Like, that shit still kind of fucks me up. But yeah, I was feeling so much anxiety. I was looking around for my phone. I found my glass in my back pocket. Bro, I was so fucking depressed, because at that point I feel like everything was starting to wear off. So, you know, you get the crash of everything, but I still felt drunk. Like, oh, it was so bad. But yeah, so I put my glass on, and then I walked like probably 40, fuck, it had to be like 40 to 50 minutes. The sun was starting to come up. It wasn't bright, it was a cloudy day. But I don't know, I walked towards a highway probably 40, 50 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't even know. And I was walking up the on-ramp, and I went to the middle part, and I was gonna like hop into traffic, but then cars were slowing down too much at that point. I was like, oh well, fuck, I can't jump in front of one and get hit that way, which I guess is for the better, right? So then I walk up the middle of the on-ramp and over to the side, and like at that point I knew I wasn't gonna jump in. I wasn't gonna get hit by anything. I thought, oh, there's a few trucks, I could like jump under the wheels, some shit like that. But yeah, like, I don't know, my head was in a dark place, man. So I was walking up the side of the highway, and I had to have still been drunk, because this part's kind of foggy, where I knew I wasn't gonna jump in, or like at that point I was just fucking around, and like I was reaching out, touching, like I touched a bus, and I was faking jumping into stuff, and like, I don't know, just doing like fucking insane shit, stupid shit. And then I heard a cop behind me yell, get down on the ground, and I turn around and he has his taser out, and I see the cruiser there, but I don't remember walking past one, so he had to have like come when I walked past and like backed up, maybe. I don't even know. But he had his taser out, and this is how I know I was still drunk, because at first I turned around and I put my hands behind my back, but I didn't get on the ground, and he yelled at me again. He was like, no, get on the ground. And I turn around back at him and I go, what, you gonna shoot me? And he shoots me in the gut with the taser, bro, and it doesn't do shit. Because I've seen a video already of guys testing a taser, not one of the ones that shoots out at you, but like one you press into the skin, and they put it to their skin, and they were like, oh yeah, like it burns a tiny bit, but it's not even like, it's all mental, bro. So in my head I was like, yeah, it ain't gonna do shit to me. Shoots me right in the gut, right Like if I'm looking down just to the left of my belly button, which thank God that fucking spike didn't hit my belly button, bro. I would have been pissed if that happened. Um, but yeah, just to the left of my belly button in my like ab area. So that wasn't bad. It didn't do anything to me, and I started walking away. And then I realized there's 2 other cruisers, and then it goes hazy for a second. I get tackled from the guy. The guy that just tased me tackles me to the ground, and then I could tell that the other guys were helping him out. I ended up getting 1 cuff on both wrists, and they cuffed the 2 cuffs together because I guess I was fucking resisting. And I remember this part makes me laugh when I think about it. I remember screaming, "Fuck the gov and the 1% that's funded," and then he did the fucking Floyd, and then he did the George Floyd knee, and he put his knee on my neck, and I felt like a fucking last breath damn near, and I might have even passed out there. I don't know, because it was kind of hazy. I could feel them lifting me up, but I felt like kind of like I blacked out for a second, right? And they were lifting me up, and they put me in the thing, and at that point I was done, bro. I was like, oh fuck, I might be going to jail right now. Like, oh, what happened after that? They put me in the car, and they closed the door, and I reached around like this, and I grabbed the fucking taser out of my gut, but I knew it had prongs, right? I tried doing a light pull. I could see it had the prongs coming back like a fish hook on both sides. So I grabbed it with 2 fingers, and I was pushing on it on my skin so it wouldn't like pull as much skin up. I don't know how I remember seeing that in some fucking show, but yeah, so I got it out, didn't do too much damage to my skin, which is sick. And the cop opened the door again. I'm crying. I'm holding the fucking taser. He gives me my ticket, and I give him the taser back. I'm like, here, you can take this. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, you took that out, eh? Like, bro, even his face when he shot me and it didn't do anything, I seen him go he was fucking shook. Like, I could see it in his eyes, and I just turn around and walk away, bro. I don't know, that part makes me laugh. I wish I could get the fucking body cam footage of that, because I would love to see how fucking gone I was still the next day. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a terrible time. Like, that was like fucking my rock bottom so far in life. But like, Jesus Christ, that one moment is fucking that makes me laugh thinking about that. But what was it? So I was in the back of the cop car. I was crying, bro. The cop who was driving me, shout out to him. He was chill as hell when he got in the thing, but I was like, I just want to die, bro. Like, I just wanted to jump on the highway and kill myself. He's like, oh no, buddy, it's hard, but we'll get through this. And he was a gem. So shout out to bro. What is it? And they brought me to the hospital, and then that part's still a bit foggy, like getting into the hospital. I remember the room they put me in, all there was like a bed, and then like a bench with some of that like blue like fake leather with the foam under it that you'd have at like a not even a doctor's office. It was like built-in unit to the wall with the leather on it, just like a square pad on top of like a wall piece, and then like one of those beds that they could wheel around, right? And I'm pretty sure I got wheeled in on a wheelchair. They put me in there. That part was kind of foggy. I don't know. I remember them taking like an IV, maybe not an IV, but my blood pressure, and maybe they did take some blood, because I remember having the sticky stuff left over here. And what is it? I remember sleeping in the bed, like going to sleep in the bed, and then I woke up falling out of the bed because I fucking rolled over, and I was just like staring at the ground like, what the fuck happened? Where am I? And the guards of the emergency wing there was like, "Hey, did you fall out of the bed, buddy?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And they put me up on the bed and put the railing up, and they're like, "There you go, buddy. Now you won't now you won't fall out again." Like, Jesus Christ, bro. I must have still been drunk and like going into the hospital after I already slept some of it off, and like, holy, like I said, this is my rock bottom so far in life, right? And then what is it? I remember waking up from that. I woke up in the emergency wing in that bed. They flicked the lights on, and I forget if I walked or they wheeled me into the next wing that was like the B wing, I'm pretty sure. And that shit felt like prison, bro. Had to have been 6 rooms. Yeah, I think there were 6 rooms on one wall. And there was like a section for the nurses. And it was so small and cramped. There were 2 bathrooms. One had a shower. In the rooms, there was just like a bed with a mattress on it and like blankets and a pillow. Bro, that shit felt like prison. Like, if they closed the door and locked that shit, you were like, fuck, that shit still kind of freaks me out. Like, that's probably the closest place I've ever been. The closest I've ever been to like a jail cell or prison cell, you know what I mean? But there were 2 people I met in the B wing that came over with me to the A wing, which is like they make sure you're not like violent, you're pretty chill, you can interact with people, all that kind of stuff. So I was only there for like 2 or 3 days in the B wing, and then I went over to the A wing for probably like a week. Because I think I was there for like a week and a half total. It wasn't long, but like when you're in there, like I said, I woke up, I didn't have my phone. So when I got there, I didn't have a phone. What is it? And then they confiscate everything else. They give you a notebook and like a pencil to write with. And they give you some sheets to help, like, oh, you're mental and all this stuff. What can you do to calm down in situations and stuff like that. But like, bro, I don't know. It was an interesting situation. Honestly, the A wing was pretty chill. There were a lot of cool people that I talked to, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna miss a lot of the people in the A wing. Yeah, even after I got out of the hospital, bro, I finally got in contact with my parents. What was it? Because I was able to leave the A wing and go on like short outing trips. It was like 2 or 4 hour outings, and I went back to my apartment. And what was it? I think I got my laptop and some clothes. And then, yeah, even this part's kind of hazy. What the fuck? I think I got my laptop and some clothes, went back to the hospital. I ended up smoking when I was at my apartment because it had already been a few days. And and I found my wallet at my apartment. And guess what? It had fucking drugs in it, but I didn't realize till I got back to the hospital and I was about to go back into the A wing where you're not supposed to have shit on you. So not only did I smoke, I had shit on me in my fucking wallet. But I was so relieved when I saw my wallet and I smoked. And I walked from the hospital to my apartment and back, so that took up most of the time, and I wasn't thinking. I was just like, oh, got in, there's my wallet, sick, had a smoke, packed my shit up, went back to the hospital, got there, started, because I seen the guy in front of me that was getting checked. You have to get checked for, like, weapons, and if you're bringing any drugs in by a security guard before you go into the wing. And I seen the guy in front of me get his wallet checked, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen my wallet in a while. I should see if there's anything left in it, if there's any cash or whatever. Open up the cash part. I still have my cards, thankfully, of course, because I didn't get stolen, right? But I open up the cash part, and there's fucking... so dumb. But yeah, I told the security guard that I smoked and that I had the drugs on me. I smoked weed and tobacco. I didn't smoke those drugs. But then, yeah, you just took it and threw it out, and I was getting all stressed. I was like, oh, fuck, am I gonna go back to the B wing and, like, tripping out about that? But he was chill about that. He's like, no, thank you for being honest, whatever. I was able to go back into the wing, and I talked to the nurses, because they would switch every day, your doctor and your nurse. So they would, you have a rotation, then you get to everyone. But what was it? I went back in and I told them, and they were like, oh, so do you only want to go out on supervised outings? And I was like, yeah, that works. And then my parents came down and I was going out with them, so that was chill. But yeah, that was hard talking to my parents about that shit, because I told them about, the hard drugs and the shit I've been doing, or had been doing at that point. And yeah, that was tough combos. And then, yeah, what was it? Came back up here for a few days. Was thinking about running away still, which was not, good. Because I was kind of having those thoughts. I was hanging out with the homeless people. I was like, oh, maybe I can make this shit work, right? And even though I'm, weak. I'm too weak for that shit. I don't know. They got some fortitude, man. They're either that or they're just straight insane, Who knows? What was it? So I was up here for a few days. We were planning on coming back down, and that was like my first court visit, my first court date. And they basically just told me, oh yeah, come back, and I have it written down somewhere. It's either like December or January. I'm pretty sure. So it was, yeah, like 12 weeks, I think. I don't know. But yeah. What was it? When we were down there for that, and I had a doctor's appointment that I didn't go to, but my parents helped me pack up a U-Haul with all my shit, and we were getting ready to leave, basically, to go back up to Quebec. And I was saying, like, oh yeah, I'll walk to my doctor's appointment, because the court date was the day before. We stayed in a hotel, we got pizza, whatever. Next day was the court date shit, and then later in the day we started packing up the U-Haul. Or no, it was the day after we got the U-Haul and started packing that up. But I already was feeling shitty in the morning before we even got the U-Haul. This thing wasn't helping. I was having an anxiety attack, and I ended up snapping at my parents, like yelling at them. And in the morning I tried like walking away up the road, and my parents had to come get me and get me back in the car. We picked up the truck, went to my apartment. I was fucking sulking and feeling like shit the whole time we were packing up the truck. And then, what was it? We got everything packed up, and I told them, oh, okay, I'll walk to my doctor's appointment, because it's right up the street there. It's like a 2 to 5 minute, it was like a 5-minute walk. And from there, I ended up just walking past the doctor's, walking back downtown to the church, trying to find that initial chick, because I don't know, I was thinking, oh, maybe she stole my phone, whatever, and I just wanted to talk to her and apologize for the shit before, see if she would apologize, or just, take the same point of view, who knows. Didn't end up finding her there. Walked to the local shelter, tried talking to somebody there. They said, like, I asked, like, oh, have you seen her? I said her by name, and I described her, and instead of saying yes or no, she said why. So I feel like she did see, but I don't know. So I told her I was trying to talk to her, and my phone was fucked, because at that point I didn't have a new phone, or my parents had just got me it, but I didn't get the Apple ID. When I did get that, it was like, I didn't get the Apple ID or get back into my old one for like a good 2 or 3, like probably a month after I got it. It had to have been a few weeks after.
But yeah, I think I blocked her number anyway, so I don't know if I would have been able to text from my end. You probably can unblock it, but I can't remember what her number was. So yeah, I ended up running away and just thinking like, oh yeah, here, my parents can take my shit back up with them and I'll just be homeless, which is so fucking stupid. See, you can see how fucking this poor... I was not thinking straight through these like few weeks, you know what I mean? But what was it? It was like a few hours later, I ended up walking back past my apartment and I didn't see the U-Haul or my parents' car. So I thought they left without me and I got even more fucking bummed out. So I walked to the Dollarama that was close and I grabbed some stuff from there that I ended up returning with my parents when I ended up talking to them and they came to pick me up. We went back to the Dollarama, returned the shit. My dad took a picture of me in the line as like part of the punishment, whatever, and they were really chill about it. They said, oh yeah, they have a lot of theft there already, and like, thank you for being honest again. I guess that's the lesson of this episode, you know, be honest and, you know, don't be a fucking jackass. But yeah, they were chill. They took the stuff back. They said, oh yeah, you don't have to pay for it, but, you know, you brought it back, which is good enough, and they can put shit back on the shelf to sell it. So, like, no harm, no foul kind of thing. And then, yeah, we drove my stuff back up here, and I've been here since. It's been, like, probably two weeks now. Yeah, probably 2 weeks now that I've been up here. My parents have been keeping me busy with chores, and I've been trying to keep myself busy, organizing my room, bringing stuff down here. And, you know, working on music. Like I said, I got the new EP coming out. I'm going to work on more music, more art. And hopefully this will be, you know, the start of me getting back into social media, making content. And, yeah, I've been recording for almost 50 minutes now. So we'll see. It'll probably come down to like half an hour maybe after editing. I was kind of rambling at the end here. But hopefully the timeline made sense for y'all and you can kind of get a picture or a sense of, you know, kind of what I was going through the time that I wasn't posting, making videos or like online at all basically. And like I said in one of my Instagram stories, I didn't know if I was going to see the end of the year basically. So, but I am grateful, thankful to still be here, thankful for all of you that tune in and watch this stuff or peep my music, check out my SoundCloud, Instagram, whatever it is, however you want to support. I truly do appreciate it, and you know, I'm sorry to all of y'all, anybody who reached out on social media, the few friends that I have back from high school that reached out, or like the people on Discord, everybody, I really appreciate that. It means a lot. I don't know if I can truly put it into words, but it's like, I don't know, I definitely have a problem with people caring about me. It sounds so stupid, but like, I'm alright caring about other people, but when people care about me, I'm like, oh no, don't do that. I don't want people caring or worrying about me, because then it feels like it's pressure on me in a way, and I don't know, I guess it's part of that, like, people pleasing shit. I don't know. I think I've been going on for a while now. I'll set it down here. Hopefully the next video I do, or podcast episode, whatever it is, will be a bit lighter, more lighthearted, not as real and you know, kind of sad, but you know, happy ending still. You gotta look for the silver lining of the clouds. I'm still here. I'm still able to make this content, and so far life has been a lot better since I've come back to live with my parents, so that's good too. And yeah, like I said, I hope to get back to YouTube, making more content, maybe some vlogs. I'll definitely be working on more music. I got new auto-tune stuff coming out soon. I'm working on multiple different EPs at the same time for after this next one comes out. That's going to be Ren and Aqua the artist, spick and span. I just updated the cover art for the teaser track that I released. The song's called Thoughtlessly. You can find that on my SoundCloud, like I was mentioning before. but you can see on my Instagram the old versus the new cover art, and maybe let me know what you think of the change. But yeah, like I said, my link tree is going to be in the bio. But, you know, I gotta do the typical YouTube outro thing. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing. It means a lot. We're on our way to 100 subscribers. But yeah, it really would mean the world if you did drop a like, subscribed, and let me know what you thought of this in the comments. Have y'all ever had experiences, maybe not as crazy as this, but with you know, hard substances or relapsing with something, maybe addictions that you battle with, maybe even to this day? I'd be happy to go into my own stuff a bit more in other videos, but yeah, I'm trying to build a community, so hopefully we can get more people in here, we can start more conversations, and kind of expand our consciousness and awareness of other people's lived experiences as well, right? But yeah, I think I'll leave it here for now. It feels kind of weird doing this because I haven't done it in a while, but like I say in all my videos, or like I used to say in all my videos, I gotta keep it going. I love you, stay safe, good luck, and take it easy.